Hi, my name is Miguel Molina. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you our solution, Portrait Learning, an AI-based learning analytics solution. So as we all know, dropout rates are an important measure nowadays. And 69% of dropouts say that one of the key reasons is their lack of motivation. Now, imagine if we could systematically understand how a student is learning. And based on that understanding, we could identify areas of opportunity and reinforcement. If we could send personalized messages, personalized nudges to students in order to improve motivation, support academic performance, and impact and personalize their learning experience. Let me give you an example. This is John. John is an average student. He has missed some assignments. He has an average motivation. And this is Emilia. Emilia is our learning analytics pedagogical bot. Here are some interactions of Emilia with John. Hi, John, I'm Emilia, your virtual pedagogical bot. I'll be sharing some tips and ideas. John, did you know that breathing plays an important part in promoting calmness? John, every night before going to sleep, use your notifications and calendar section, and so on and so forth. Emilia is personalizing messages for John based on an understanding on how John learns. How does that work? So John is leaving behind many digital signals on the LMS, on the SIS, on Microsoft Teams, maybe other transactionals. That information gets analyzed and structured in a learning analytics framework. And once we understand how the student, in this case, John, is learning and the areas of opportunity, Emilia chooses from thousands of messages what is the ideal message for John in a specific moment. Let me share with you more about the learning analytics framework. 4 pillars: executive functions, social skills, willingness to learn, and achievement, and 16 building blocks, such as working memory, teamwork, optimism, and high function, or student achievement. These 16 building blocks are composed of heuristic algorithms and cognitive algorithms. In particular, the willingness to learn is the output of a cognitive algorithm based on the big 5 traits of personality. And we are using natural language processing to infer intrinsic personality traits from open text. Taking a step back, we have John creating digital signals. We have the characterization within the framework, and then Emilia choosing from thousands of messages the ideal message for John in a specific moment. The framework is composed of heuristic algorithms and cognitive algorithms. In the case of Emilia, there are 2 components. The knowledge base, which is the thousands of messages that have already been pre-created based on the learning analytics framework, and the natural language processing that is part of the interaction between the student and Emilia. So number 1, we're supporting the understanding on how a student learns. On these 4 pillars: executive functions, willingness to learn, achievement, and social skills. And we are interacting with the student in order to generate metacognition, for the student to understand the areas of opportunity, promoting student well-being and propelling the student motivation. We're clear that emotion is the gateway for cognition. The data is coming from several sources, but at the end, we put together a data structure of 25 tables, put together from 120 variables that help Emilia understand the different areas of opportunity. Very briefly, let me show you a demo. On the right side, I'm showing you a report of Portrait. We have 3 levels of reporting: at the student level, at the professor level, and at the institutional level. On the report, you see the 4 areas, the 4 pillars, and the 16 building blocks. We see the nudges that the student is receiving through time. How is that correlated with their grades? We see, in particular, the areas where Emilia is putting focus, which are the areas where the student is farther away from the center of the class. It doesn't mean that it's positive or negative. It's just an area of reinforcement or an area of opportunity. On the left side, we're seeing an interaction of Emilia with a student. Sometimes there's not enough information on the LMS, and Emilia interacts with the student in order to gather additional information on how a student is learning. On the right side, we're seeing now the report from the professor. By aggregating different groups, the professor can see how a different group is gravitating towards one or the other variable. Just to wrap it up, Portrait is a solution that allows educational institutions to systematically understand how a student is learning, and based on that understanding, to systematically handhold the student from a personal perspective in order to maximize their performance, satisfaction, motivation, and this all happens through a pedagogical bot. If you would like additional information, shoot me an email. Here's my contact information. Let's reimagine the disruption that can be done through the use of learning analytics. Thank you very much.